Hey everybody in YouTube land, this is Jessica Bugg, and we are going to be doing our second review of The Crown. It is on Netflix. It is the series that is depicting the life of Queen Elizabeth II, the current reigning monarch in the United Kingdom. And I am falling in love with this show. Like, it is phenomenal. So the second episode is going to show you the continuation of her and Prince Philip's tour while they were in Africa, and it's going to show the passing of her father. And I mean, she didn't even know. Like, she was out in the middle on a safari when he passed, and it was a big to do because they couldn't get a hold of her, and the whole world knew that her dad had died. And then so it really shows the conflict of her having to reconcile the grief of losing her father with also this huge responsibility of becoming such a young and female monarch, um, and not really being able to grieve properly because she, was given a letter from the Queen Mother saying that, the people need to see your strength. And, it really is showing the human side of Queen Elizabeth II. And have always been a fan of the royal family, but seeing this inside look at her, it just puts a whole human light on it, because you just don't, you think, oh, she's got this, she waves and it has the purse and whatever, but she's had to overcome a lot of things and really suppress who she is by nature. It goes briefly into some of the conflict that her and Prince Philip had, like when she's trying to walk out to see the crowd when she lands in London, and she's now not Princess Elizabeth, but she is now Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and Philip can't walk beside her. Prince Philip, excuse me, he cannot walk beside her. He has, as Duke of Edinburgh, he is of lower ranking to the crown, and no one can walk beside or in front of the crown. And you kind of see this, like, well, that's my wife. Like, you see this look pass, and the actor who plays Prince Philip just does a profound job of communicating emotion through very solemn and stoic facial expressions. And then we have Winston Churchill, the just prolific public speaker. And I've always been a fan of Winston Churchill because, I mean, how couldn't you? But seeing his insider life, like, he was like kind of he was a grumpy old dude, and his wife didn't want him to be prime minister anymore, but out of duty to his people, he did that. And, he was an amazing writer and orator. And that really comes to light at the very end of episode 2 when he is addressing the nation. It kind of makes me want to tear up, actually. He's addressing the nation, speaking of the king who has passed and how wonderful he was, but also looking to the new direction of the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. And, one of the quotes, and I may butcher a little bit, he says is, we've always had a prosperous time when the scepter has been held by a queen. And much like her predecessor, Elizabeth I, she was not groomed to become a monarch, but yet is now stepping into this role. And it's just, like, I'm tearing up even talking about it. Like, it is so beautiful. And, like, the actor's portrayal of Winston Churchill is just so spot on to what you know historically of Winston Churchill. I mean, he's got the cigars, in case you don't know, a Churchill cigar. It's a very long cigar named for Churchill. It's just beautiful. It's so beautiful to see. And then also to see the guiding hand of the Queen Mother, who is the mother, she's the mother of the king, grandmother to Elizabeth, and to see her guidance on, here's what you have to do to be successful. We've had several monarchies here that have failed because of personal indiscretions and just not having self-control and not being worried about what they're doing. And Elizabeth really internalizes this. And I think that may be why sometimes she may come across as a little cold. It's because the weight of the crown is tremendous. I mean, she represents an entire people. She is, in some stretch, an ambassador, in some stretch, a sovereign. She is a leader of a family. And this was at a time, you have to remember, when she ascended the throne, it was very commonplace. This is post World War II, that women were going to, they were going to be at the house, and they were going to be, knitting and baking things. And here she is. She's now the leader of, at the time, it was the largest consortium of nations and colonies at the time when she ascended. And, we're seeing kind of her juxtaposition as now this very powerful public figure, but also as a wife. Like, how will she reconcile being a wife and a mother to young children while she's also leading a country and having to take on all those duties? And it's just so beautiful, again, because it shows you the human side of Queen Elizabeth II. And it also shows, I'm going to be honest, Prince Philip is kind of the standout in this to me, him and Winston Churchill. Not because they're male, but because of the acting that they do. It is, they can communicate just from looking, and it's phenomenal. Well, you guys, I've got to go and catch up on episode 3, but stay subscribed and hit that like button, smash the like button. That's what my daughters say. And I will see you guys next time. Also, there will be links below in case you want to get a hold of some copies of The Crown for yourself.